What do you know about Russian culture? Ballet, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy and Pushkin, St. Basil's Cathedral, caviar, vodka and matryoshka. With the first war, lies and repression. Why did a culture that is part of the world's civilization raise murderers and barbarians? And why it deserves to be cancelled? UNO Project explains. The Great Russian State, the revival of the empire, and the reuniting of the peoples are the go-to ideas for Russian propaganda whenever it seeks to reach the Russian people's subconscious. As we are witnessing it now, the Kremlin is still desperate to justify Vladimir Putin's imperialist aspirations by taking cover behind Russian culture and calling it great. For centuries, Russian writers nurtured the Russian supremacy in their works. Many authors of classic Russian literature minted Ukrainophobic works, including Pushkin, Dostoevsky, and Brodsky. It's no difference in our time. Notably, Russian culture failed to fulfill its main purpose, which was to save the Russians from degrading into barbarity in the 21st century. Once the people standing in the ranks of those who defended themselves from the horde, the Russians have now turned into orcs. So-called Great Russian culture failed to make a great nation out of an idealist crowd. Therefore, here are some reasons for the civilized European world to cancel Occupy culture. Solidarity with Ukraine. Sanctioning Russian culture sends an important signal to Ukrainians. It makes a point of showing that Europeans are behind Ukraine, that you're not going to abandon us, that you stand for the same core values as dignity, humanism, equality and freedom, that you are ready to support us in this fight and share our pain to make Ukraine, as a part of the Western world, bloom and gain cultural prosperity. Soft power. Russia should not reap the huge benefits from hosting cultural events. For example, over the past decades, Russia has hosted several international sport competitions, such as the 2018 World Cup and 2014 Winter Olympics. These events are important for Russia as they improve its image abroad, though the Ukraine invasion has completely destroyed its international reputation. And last but not least is the global consequences. Canceling Russian culture sends a message to other countries, such as those in Asia or Africa, not to break international law, which can help maintain peace in the international system. All in all, Russian culture is in desperate need of revaluation of all values. And it doesn't mean that this culture has to be destroyed, not at all. For the first time in the century, it needs to be viewed critically by its admirers instead of translating blind faith in the Tsar. But the term itself, Great Russian culture, should get out of use. While Russia is waging its cruel war against Ukraine, this term is absurd.